So how are you guys doing on this? Are you able to label correctly? Now, for those who are viewing, I'm talking for the future reference. For those who will be watching this video, we are just working on the warm-up question right now, but we will get started on 4.3 shortly. Okay, so let's get started. The first step of solving for this x, the measurement, right, is to label, okay? And label the three sides of a right triangle. The first step, you're going to label opposite side. Opposite side is called opposite because it's the opposite side of the focus angle, which is, in this case, 70 degrees. So this side is called opposite. And the next, you want to identify hypotenuse. Now, which side is the hypotenuse? Hypotenuse is always the other side across from this 90 degree. So this one is hypotenuse is represented by x. Okay, so hypotenuse is x. Now, opposite is there's nothing, right? It's blank. So if we've got opposite hypotenuse, that means this side is going to be adjacent. Now we are going to set up an equation, okay? Now to do that, you have to know SOHCAHTOA. Can all of you guys spell SOHCAHTOA? Do you guys want to show me in the chat, how do you spell SOHCAHTOA? Very good. Anybody else? So is S-O-H, and I usually write like this, S-O-H-C-A-H, and then T-O-A. That's a SOHCAHTOA. And what it is it's, so now, which one of three do we need to use for this problem? Is this the sine problem, or cosine problem, or tangent problem? And this is cosine problem, isn't it? Now, how do you know that? Because now, first of all, there is nothing on opposite. So opposite is out. But we have adjacent and hypotenuse involving that, right? This problem. So you want to look for A and H combination, which is this one. So this has to be cosine problem. So let's set it up. Cosine of angle 70 equals, it is A over H. So that would be 5.6 over X. Okay. And then we cross multiply. I know for those who miss classes on Tuesday and Wednesday, this may not make much sense to you, but just keep writing, copy it down. And hopefully by the time you watch the video, this will all make sense, okay? But let's cross multiply. Cosine of 70 times X equals 1 times 5.6, which is just 5.6. Since you want to solve for X, just gonna divide both sides by cosine of 70. And that cancels out. Cosine of 70. So X equals 5.6 divided by cosine of 70. So let's figure out. So take out your calculator. 5.6 divided by cosine of 70. And I've got 16.4. Is it in the right mode? Yes, it is in the right mode. The answer is 16.4, what is it, centimeter. Okay. This is what we've been doing so far, okay? So we've worked on that for the last 2 days, Tuesday and Wednesday. Now let's move on. Actually, let's not do the other one, but let's move on to today's. Were you guys able to do that? Who's got 16.4? Who's got 16.4? Yes, very good. Saif, anybody else? Nice job. Yeah, 16.3 is, that's good, very good. Okay, let's move on to today's. Now, so this is today's. Let's write it down in your notes. 4.3, finding angle measurement. Now, all what we did yesterday was to find the missing side, right? What if I give you 2 measurements of the sides? Can we figure out angle measurement? And the answer is yes, we can. And that I'm going to teach you how to find the angle measurement, okay? The process is very, very similar, at least for the first 2 steps. But let's write this down. So let's write down the title, 4.3, and then I want you to copy down the diagram. And let's label, and let's wait, okay? I don't want you to be cross multiply. We will not cross multiply today, but all the way up to the setting up the equation, it's all the same. So I know you can do that. So actually, let's go all the way up to setting up the equation, okay? Okay. Were you able to at least label the triangle? And which function are we going to use? Is it sine problem, cosine, or tangent problem? SOH, CAH, TOA. Your calculator needs to be in degree mode, but not radian. Leo, will you be able to figure that out? If you need help, please let me know. Again, it needs to be in degree mode. Okay, let's get started. So I'm going to start label. Now, even though we don't know the angle measurement, but we do know that this is the focus angle, okay? So theta. Theta is just one Greek letter, just fancy way of saying X, okay? So we have a known angle measurement X, or we are just using that theta, okay? So we need to figure out what the angle measurement is, but this is a focus angle. That means opposite. Opposite is 10 centimeters. Again, opposite is called opposite because it's opposite side of the focus angle. Next, hypotenuse. You always want to identify hypotenuse. Hypotenuse is the side all the way across from a 90 degree. So this is a hypotenuse, H. and there is nothing. So hypotenuse basically is out of the picture because there's no labeling. Okay. And then 7 centimeter has to be adjacent. Okay. Now we are dealing with adjacent and opposite. So very good. Which function are we going to use? Is this a sine problem, cosine, or tangent? Saif, let's take a look at it again. It's adjacent and opposite, right? It's a and O. Cosine uses A and H. Right? We don't have anything on H, so we cannot use cosine there. Does that make sense? So if I know I'm putting you on the spot, but which one do you think it is? If it's not cosine. Yeah, very good. This is the tangent problem because opposite and adjacent. So let's set it up, okay? So tangent of theta, it's always the angle, but we don't know the angle, right? So let's put tangent of theta equals opposite, which is 10 over adjacent, which is 7, okay? Now, before that, we used to cross multiply and solve it, right? But we can't do it, okay? Now, how do we find the angle measurement? Well, the ratio for that particular angle measurement, which we don't know, we do know the ratio. It's 10 to 7 ratio. It's 10 by 7 triangle, right? The 10 is the longer leg opposite. Adjacent is 7. So we do know that 10 to 7 ratio. So how do we get back to the angle measurement that will give you 10 to 7 ratio? To do that, going backwards in mathematics is called inverse. You're kind of reversing the process. In other words, we need to use the inverse tangent. Now, what is the inverse? Now, the symbol for inverse it's this. So use, that's right, inverse. Now, what's inverse? The symbol is this negative first power. That negative first power is the inverse notation or symbol. Now, I'm going to take a look at your calculator. Let's see, where is the tangent? Do you see the tangent right here? Tangent button for mine. But just right above it, do you see tangent negative first power right there? So what you need to do is, so to do that, to find the angle measurement, you're going to not cross multiply, but we're going to reverse the process, inverse tangent of 10 over 7. And that will give you the angle measurement. So this is what you do. For my calculator, I press second and then tangent button. See that? I've got now inverse tangent. And then I do 10 divided by 7. So this is what I type in the calculator. And then I press enter. And I get the angle measurement, which is 55 degrees. Will you try and with your calculator and see if you can get 55 degrees? So finding the angle measurement, once you get used to it, it's actually easy process. You don't have to cross multiply. Are you getting 55 degrees? Does anybody have any questions? Let's try another one. So why don't you try B? I want you to copy the triangle, label, set up, and then use inverse to find the angle measurement. Actually, you know what? Let's write this out. To find the angle, use inverse. Will you write this down in your note and like let's make a big block around it. I'm gonna ask you tomorrow. I'm gonna ask you next week. How do you find the angle measurement? And I want you to say, use inverse. No cross multiplication. Okay, use inverse. Okay. So let's try B. And I want you to share your answer in the chat. What is the theta going to be for this question? I'm gonna wait till somebody give me the answer. Very good, William. Nice job. Anybody else? That's right. This is a sine problem. Very good. So that means you have to be using inverse sine. Yeah. I want to see one more answer. Does anybody have the answer for theta? Mm-hmm. That's right. We're going to use the sine. So let's label. This is opposite, right? It's opposite of the focus angle. And the hypotenuse is across from 90 degrees. So this is a hypotenuse. This is adjacent. You don't need to write adjacent because there's nothing, but I'll do that anyway. So you're dealing with opposite and hypotenuse. Which one is that? Okay, so let's go through that. So far the step is all the same, right? So are you okay on that? So you label, and this has to be sine, S-O-H, okay? Because it's O and H. It's an opposite and a hypotenuse. So this has to be sine problem. So sine, so let's set it up. Sine of theta. We don't know the angle measurement, so I would just go to, you can even put X if you like that, okay? But I'm just gonna use the sine of theta, meaning it's X, unknown. Sine of angle equals opposite, which is 2 over 3, okay? But again, since we are trying to find the angle measurement, we are not going to cross multiply. But to find the angle measurement, you're simply going to reverse the process. So that reverse in math is called inverse. Inverse sine of 2 divided by 3. And that will give you the answer, okay? So to get the inverse sine, I don't know if you can see, just right above the sign button, you see the sign negative first power? You need to get to that. So for my calculator, I have to press second and sign. So I'm going to do that. I go second and sign. You see, now I got the inverse sign. And then I do 2 divided by 3. So this is what I type. Inverse sine 2 divided by 3. You get 41.8. So it is 41.8 degrees. I don't know why you're getting, you got 0. First of all, let's make sure you are in degree mode. So if you go to mode, or for my calculator for mode, or maybe like a setting or something in a different calculator, if you go to mode, see mine is now right now, I just changed that 5 seconds ago. It's in radian mode. You don't want that. So you move it. You need to highlight degree. Degree needs to be highlighted. If you do that. Alexis, are you still getting 0? Okay, very good. Excellent. If anybody still have a problem, please let me know, okay? I can work with you and figure out your calculator and setting and all that stuff. So let's do the assignment. Now, this is where we work on assignment. So you can just continue from your notes. You can start from the new page. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter to me. But eventually, just keep in mind that you're going to take a picture of your notebook after you finish the assignment, and then you're going to turn it in Canvas. So whether you want to start from a new page or just continue from your notes, I don't care. Maybe if you're continuing on your notes, maybe you can just draw a line and then write down this. I need to see it. Homework HW 4.3. So let's write it down. Okay, so let's begin and work on A. So let's copy down the triangle, and I want you to label and set up an question. You know what? I'm going to ask you a question if you don't mind, okay? You don't have to. So the first question I'm going to ask you, I'm going to pick one of you. Hey, which function are you going to use? Sine, cosine, or tangent? And you tell me. You can just speak out loud or you can use the chat, okay? So be ready. And if you don't know it, if you don't get it, just say, I don't get it. Very good. So the answer has been already shared, but Yeah, it is a cosine problem, isn't it? Yeah. So let's label. Angle is right here. This is the opposite. This is a hypotenuse. Maybe I should do like a capital H, hypotenuse. This is adjacent. And so we are dealing with a hypotenuse and adjacent, okay? Because there's nothing on opposite. This is a cosine. So Abigail, I'm going to put you on spot. It's cosine of theta equals what? What over what? Do you mind answering that question? You can just DM, direct message to me. Cosine of theta equals, it's SOHCAHTOA. Let's write it down. SOHCAH and TOA. Thank you, Abigail. It is adjacent over hypotenuse, so it will be 4 over 5. Excellent. Okay. Now let's find the angle measurement. To find angle measurement, what do we need to do? We need to use inverse, right? So let's figure out. Evan, do you have the answer for that? So theta equals inverse cosine of 4 over 5. Evan, what did you get? Or what do you get if you type that in? Still get 0. I wonder. So if you're getting, the answer should be 36.8. Thank you, Dulce. Dulce? Need to look it up how to pronounce names. I'm sorry if I'm saying that wrong. So it is 36.8. If you're not getting 36.8, so let's walk through this. So for my calculator, I have to go second, or maybe some of your calculator, it says shift. So you go shift button or mine second button, and then I press cosine. Then I have that inverse cosine, the -1. And then I do 4 divided by 5. So this is how I type it. Inverse cosine, 4 divided by 5, close the parentheses, and then press enter. Saif, let me know when you still get. Do you want to show me do you have a camera on your computer? Do you want to show me your calculator? Maybe I can identify. I don't know if you want to do that.
I will share my screen. I mean, my camera.
Yeah. Okay. Okay, very good. I like that calculator. It's hard to see, but so you go to the second button, right? Oh, let's press the mode. Make sure that it's in, is it in degree mode? Have you checked that? Yeah, you're muted, by the way.
I'm
Make sure,
sorry.
yeah, make sure it's in degree mode.
It is on degree mode.
Okay, very good. So let's get back. So you go second and cosine, right?
Yes.
So, and then you do 4 divided by 5
Yes.
and close the parentheses and then press enter and you don't get 36.
I still get 0.6.
0.6. Oh yeah, that's in radian mode. So if I do the radian mode, I get 0.64. Is that what you're getting?
Yeah, it's 0.6.
Yeah, so that's in radian mode. So you need to be in degree mode. So again, go to mode.
It's on degree.
Oh no, so you press enter,
Oh, okay.
then the black
Yes,
highlight.
yes.
Yeah, you got that.
Yep.
Very good. Well, it's been resolved, right? And that's all it matters. Very good. Whoa.
It's working now.
Very good. Let's move on. Number B. So again, everybody label it. Identify the correct function. Then let's use inverse. Very good. Hey, Keegan, I'm gonna put you on spot. Can you hear me? So Keegan, which function are we going to use for this one? Is this a sine, cosine, or tangent? So let's label. Opposite. Hypotenuse. Then adjacent, there's nothing on adjacent. So it's an opposite and a hypotenuse. Which one uses an O and an H? Yeah, that's sine, isn't it? So sine of theta, we don't know, equals O over H. So it's going to be 3 over 4. Okay. You cannot skip this step to be able to accurately figure out the answer. Okay. So let's make sure that you label it. Okay. And now theta equals inverse sine of 3 over 4. Hey, Krina, can you hear me? Do you have the answer by any chance? I know some people are already sharing the answer with me, but Krina, I don't know if you can hear me. What's the answer for that? What did you get? So let's go inverse sine of 3 divided by 4. Very good. 48.59, or let's put 48.6 or 48.5. That's fine. Nice job. I know I'm going really slow, probably for many of you, but you don't have to wait for me. You can just keep going. But as we finish each problem, please make sure that you check your answers, okay? Let's work on C. Hey, Leo, I'm going to put you on spot. For C, which function are we going to use? Is this a tangent, cosine, sine? Which one is it?
I would say tangent.
This is the tangent problem. Very good. Why? Let's figure out. It's opposite. There's nothing on a hypotenuse. And then 7 is adjacent. It's an O and an A combination. That's tangent, isn't it? Nice job. So, tangent of a theta equals, what's the fraction? It will be opposite over adjacent. So it will be 6 over 7. Very good. Nice job, Alexis. So theta equals, again, you're going to use inverse, okay? Inverse tangent of 6 divided by 7. Very good. 40.6. Okay, who's next? Okay, letter E. Is everybody okay? Do you need to see still any part of the notes? Lisbeth, I'm going to put you on spot. Which function are we going to use for E? Saif, that's correct. Very good. What do you think, Elizabeth?
Tangents.
That will be tangent problem. Excellent. Okay, nice job. So let's set it up. Opposite. Hypotenuse. There's nothing on a hypotenuse. And adjacent. So opposite hypotenuse adjacent combination again is a tangent, isn't it? So this is tangent 2 times in a row. So tangent of theta equals opposite, which is 1 over 4.1. Luvia, I hope I'm saying your name correctly. Luvia, do you have the answer for E? So what is theta going to be? And anybody else, would you share your answer, direct message to me? What is theta for E? What did you guys get? Okay. So let's go through, I don't know which calculator, do you have a cell phone calculator? If you haven't downloaded Scientific Calculator, there are a couple of things. Now each cell phone comes with a calculator like this one, right? Have you guys seen that before? If you tilt on sideways, you do have the sine cosine. However, this is a little bit confusing to use because when you want to do inverse cosine or sine cosine, tangent, you have to press number first, and then you press cosine or tangent. So, and it gets a little really confusing. So I would highly recommend that you download a calculator. If you don't want to download calculator on your cell phone, you can Google and type scientific calculator, and you can just use web-based scientific calculator. Okay, so but let me go through again. You have to, this is tangent, so you go second for mine, second, and then tangent button. That will give me the inverse tangent. And then you do 1 divided by 4.1. Type like that. Tangent inverse 1 divided by 4.1. Then press enter. 13.7. If anyone has any problem with your calculator, maybe we can sort it out at the end of the class, okay? Let's move on to F. So we've got 4 more to go, okay? We can finish it. Actually, let's just do 3 more. Maybe some of you already are done, but let's go 3 more questions, okay? Because I want to keep some time left to help any students who need calculator help. Hey, Luciano, can you hear me okay? Luciano, which function are we going to use for F? So I'm putting you on spot, but maybe you can answer that maybe in direct message to me. Which function are we going to use for F? You can speak out loud, or you can type your answer in the chat. That's right. Very good, Saeed. Okay. So this will be cosine problem, doesn't it? Okay, it's going to be opposite. There is nothing on opposite. There is a hypotenuse and adjacent. So we are dealing with hypotenuse adjacent combination. H and A and H, or H and A. And that is, H and A is cosine problem. Okay. So this is cosine of theta equals 2.5 over 4.1. Let's take a look. And the answer is inverse cosine of 2.5 over 4.1. Okay, very good. 52.4. Nice job, Dulce. Dulce? And Alexis? It's 52.4. Very good. So if you're getting it, right? Nice job. And that's right. So keep going and finish it up. So let's move on to G. How about Michael? Can I put you on spot, Michael? What would G going to be? Which function is that? Well, what happened there? What did I do? B, opposite, hypotenuse, adjacent, nothing on a adjacent. Yeah, hang on a second. Here's your H. So this will be O and H. So that's gotta be sine, isn't it? Okay. Sine of theta. Are you guys getting the hang of this? Sine of theta equals opposite 9.9 over 10.2. And how do you find the angle measurement? No cross multiplication. Just gonna simply take inverse, okay? Inverse sine of 9.9 over 10.2. Inverse sine of 9.9 divided by 10.2. Very good. They'll say 76 degrees. Excellent. Nice job, Alexis. Last question. The Palmer, I don't know if you can hear me. Which function are we going to use, Palmer? Is it sine, cosine, or tangent? For H. Last question. Okay, very good. Thank you. No, it's not tangent. So let's take a look, okay? Let's label. So this is opposite, right? Because it's opposite of the angle, focus angle, that's opposite. Hypotenuse is across from the 90 degree. So that's a hypotenuse. And 2 is adjacent. There is nothing on an opposite, so that's gone. So it is adjacent and hypotenuse combination. Palmer, do you want to try that again? Which one uses A and H? So everybody keep going. A and H again is this one, isn't it? A and H. So this is a cosine problem. Does that make sense? Yeah. So this is a cosine of theta equals A 2 over 4. theta is inverse cosine of 2/4. Now, what do we get? Hey, William, do you have the answer for H?
Theta equals 60 degrees.
60 degrees. Thank you very much. Excellent. 60 degrees. Okay. And thank you for those who are sharing the answer in the chat. 60 degrees. Dulce, Elizabeth, nice job. And everybody else. I hope you're getting this. If you're still having difficulty with a calculator or anything else, please remain in the class. I won't keep you long. Maybe I can figure out or help you how to punch in the calculator. Otherwise, please make sure you take a picture of this, your work, and submit in Canvas. Oh, you know what? Did I make the assignment visible? Maybe I haven't published it. Let me do that right now. Hang on a second. Let me check. Yeah, I did not publish that. Good looking notes, Leo. Appreciate that. Nice job. Hang on a second. I'm publishing the assignment. Due date next week, Friday, and then save. So if you want to refresh the Canvas, you will be able to see the today's assignment in modules. And please make sure that you submit the assignment of your picture. You can upload your picture in Canvas, and that's how you turn it in. Thank you guys for all the effort, and I will see you guys tomorrow, okay? Take care, guys. Have a great day.